Hi, my name is Mercedes Carranza, and today I will be talking about Chapter 5, titled Strategy and Planning, Turning a Dream into Reality, from the book Nonprofit Management 101, written by Darian Rodriguez Heyman. Strategic planning is arguably one of the most important aspects of managing a nonprofit organization due to its ability to help ensure that an organization always has room to grow and accomplish the goals that have been set. Strategic planning leaves a lot of room for growth, whether it be financially, audience-wise, influence on people in the community, staff-wise, and so much more. Without having any sort of planning happening, an organization will find itself often struggling to figure out what direction it may want to go in and not being able to grow in the way the company should versus in planning if planning was going on. That is why in this video I will be talking about the benefits of nonprofit organizations using strategic planning to better their future. To start, I have one question. When you have an idea, is it better to just take that idea, run with it, and hope for the best? Or is it better to take that idea and plan on where you want to go with it? It's probably better to take that idea and make a plan. And hopefully in doing so, it will allow you to not only take that initial idea you had and make it happen, but also build on that idea for the future reference. This could be beneficial to an organization because they should always be learning from the past, planning in the present, and planning for the future. In doing so, this will allow them to stay on top of the mission they are setting out to accomplish in their community. According to Heyman, in creating strategic plans, nonprofit leaders are determining which set of strategies are key to the impact they want to achieve in their community. This one concept that stood out to me the most were the 5 main core skills that an organization should use to create the best strategic plan. The first core skill is making the numbers work. You can't just focus on an organization's objectives and missions. You also have to be aware of the finances of coming up with your plan. When creating the strategic plan, you have to take into account current finances, future finances. You don't want to set a plan into motion only to realize halfway through there's no financial way you would be able to do that. So remember, as Heyman stated, with every strategy identified in a strategic plan, there should have an accompanying financial analysis that details the cost to implement the strategy and the sources for financing it. In doing this, this will make sure that you're covering all your bases and make sure that not only is the plan going to be supported financially, but also in the future. The second core skill is planning in real time. Just because your strategic plan may be good when you first compose it and decide to use it, it doesn't mean it's always going to be the right thing for the future. So when an organization's leaders are in the moment, they have to be okay with using strategic thinking to revise the plan and make it better. With being able to do this, they also have to be okay with this act taking as short a time as an hour to as long as a couple of days. Planning in real time is one of the toughest skills, but in doing so, it will just make what an organization is trying to accomplish that much easier and better. Not only that, but it will make the leaders a lot better in thinking and in future strategic plans. The third core skill is that when in using strategic planning, it should be staff-run and board-directed. This is another important skill because in not getting the roles mixed up, it will allow for maximum efficiency. As Heyman put it, you should be clarifying board and staff roles in planning, ultimately putting realistic assignments on the right people for maximum productivity and quality strategy development. Leaders often report to the board about what members are saying is going on, and in doing so, this allows the board members to get a broad feel of what needs to happen and what should happen. While staff members generally know about what is going on in their particular position, it allows them to be able to tell their leading managers so they can report to the other people, to the board members. Excuse me. Therefore, board members should be directing what the strategic plan is, and staff members should be the ones implementing it every day when they are doing their job. If there is anything else going on, then the staff members can report it to their superiors, and it will eventually find its way to where it needs to go so that the appropriate changes can be made. The fourth core skill is thinking what questions are we trying to answer. This is another really important skill. Some will say this is the million-dollar question when it comes to strategic planning because in being able to answer this, it will help an organization build their planning in the best way possible. Not only that, but it will allow them to put their best foot forward. First, you should revisit your mission and vision to be reminded of what the organization is trying to accomplish in the first place and in the community. The next thing an organization should do is identify the specific questions it is trying to help in the planning process, rather than just picking something and going with it. Typically, the best questions are 5 simple ones. Who are you trying to reach with this plan? What kind of impact on the community will this have? Where is this plan going to help improve the organization? When will this plan happen? Why is this strategic plan going to help the organization? In asking these questions, it will make planning go a lot better. Not only that, by challenging yourself by an organization challenging themselves to answer these questions, it will really make sure that a strategic plan is something that can happen and something that will benefit the community. Moving on to the last core skill, it is to set milestones and benchmarks for success. An organization will never go wrong in setting a milestone for success. In doing this, it will allow them to not only strive to implement their strategy, but also strive to do much better. Setting a benchmarker is also a good way to check in on the strategic plan to see if it is working and how it is helping the community. If the plans are not accomplishing what it originally set out to do, then it will allow organizations to go, alright, how can I change this? Where can I make this better? So that going on in the future, the plan is going to not just do nothing, but succeed. And it could succeed so much more. Not only that, but milestones and benchmarkers push organizations to do better each time they accomplish something new. These 5 core skills are something that a nonprofit in Ventura County could use to better their strategic planning. For example, if they made sure to set milestones, it will encourage the organization to constantly push to make the community that much better. If they ask themselves the questions they are trying to answer, then it will make sure that every opinion in the community is heard and not just what an organization thinks is best. If they answer those 5 questions, then it can not only will ask what the organization is trying to answer, but it will ask what the community wants. Another thing is Ventura nonprofits can even use the skill of making numbers work. Through ensuring they have the best financial statements prepared for any strategy they may wish to use, it will allow them to make sure that they are covered financially in whatever direction they decide to go in. This is something that is important because making sure that you're covered financially will allow you to go that much further. Overall, any nonprofit organization can use these 5 core skills, and in doing so, it will help you not only develop a strong strategic plan for an organization, but it will also ensure that an organization as a whole continues to grow and expand in the community and audiences it is trying to reach. As Heyman expressed so perfectly, without a clear, compelling vision and mission supported by solid strategies, nonprofits will lose relevance. Therefore, nonprofits should use strategic planning because ultimately it would allow their organization to grow that much more. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.